Shams Charania just revealed some massive news about the Suns' future as he detailed on Kevin Durant on ESPN today and talking about the uncertainty of him remaining in the Valley post this season and what that entails for the Phoenix Suns and for Matt Ishbia post this disastrous season. So we're going to dive in, we're going to explore, we're going to talk about all the intangibles that were broken down today from Shams, and we're going to get into that right now on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love, support in the comments section. Let me know your guys' thoughts as we have gone through this frustration together all this season, and I really do appreciate it all. So let me know what you guys think down below on this one, as I know there are a lot of polarizing people in this Suns fan base on Kevin Durant. So we're going to dive into it. We're going to get into it, and I'm going to give you my thoughts as well. Without further ado, let's get to it. Make sure to grab that snack, as clearly it was not a great fit with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, but that's not the chapter we're using. We're giving you a Suns trade update, ladies and gentlemen, as there has been some news revolving around Kevin Durant and the superstar in his potential in staying in Phoenix, or what we most likely are going to see, him departing. As we see here from Evan Sidery, that a first round NBA playoff team that gets bounced could look to make a trade for Kevin Durant. Teams like the Knicks, Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Rockets could be all aggressive to get that pursuit for Durant this summer if they flame out early. And we saw this from front court, full court pass as well, that the Phoenix Suns are expected to engage on trade discussions surrounding Kevin Durant per Shams Charania. The franchise is expected to work with Durant and his business partner, Rich Kleelman, on the next landing spot for Durant. And Shams had this tweet here where I saw this, where he broke this down on the future of Durant, Booker, and the Suns after Mike Budenholzer became the third coach fired in 3 years. So, like I said, with all of this, Shams Charania really went into detail on why Mike Budenholzer was fired, and we had some videos talking about that earlier on the channel. So if you missed that, go check that out, as we had an initial reaction and some other things that came out about from Devin Booker and from Bradley Beal, Yusuf Nurkic, and some things from behind the scenes on why Mike Budenholzer was fired as well. But we also hear from Shams Charania on this little tidbit that obviously the Suns are looking to pursue a trade with Kevin Durant, that both parties are going to be looking to move off of each other this off season, and Durant, who's currently sitting on a 1 year deal right now, looking for an extension, gives all the power to him as he gets to decide ultimately where he wants to go. Now, some of these teams might not feel that they want Kevin Durant, or some of these teams that he wants to go to might not be willing to trade for Kevin Durant, but I would argue they obviously would be inclined to, as obviously the 37-year-old superstar who will be playing out another great season, is a top tier player in the NBA. We saw it put on display this season, regardless if he missed the mark to be an all NBA type of player this season by coming up a few games short. I believe 100% that he was an all NBA player. He was deserving of that all NBA second team. And if the Phoenix Suns had any better of a record, it would have been more inflicted in the power of the voting with Kevin Durant. He had an absolutely fantastic season, dealing with injuries, dealing with Mike Budenholzer and his terrible rotations, his randomness of offense that really puzzled the players this year. And it ultimately led to him almost being traded for Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga so that the Suns could recoup some sort of assets and really put on a new face with this team with Devin Booker. Ultimately, that failed, and now the Suns will have to look to move off Durant this off season. Now, there's no obvious direction for Kevin Durant, what team he is going to go to, because there is no really big interest from a specific team to strike in and be all in on Kevin Durant at this moment. But obviously, like Evan Sidery had brought up earlier, that teams who flame out in the first round of the playoffs would look at Kevin Durant as that necessary veteran scorer that they could use to add to blossom their team. And teams like the Knicks, Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Rockets, all with their first round matchups or potential first round matchups being already set in stone, could fall into that demographic. Now, I'm not saying that those four teams are the likely to be involved in it, or the necessary teams, or the top four, but those are just some random names to spew. So let me know your thoughts down below in in the comment section. Would you like Kevin Durant to stay? Do you think he should be traded? Ultimately, I am optimistic Suns fan. I love Kevin Durant. He wants to retire in Phoenix. I think he should stay here in Phoenix, and the Suns should show that to him by obviously looking to move off Bradley Beal and doing other things around the roster to retool around these two. Obviously, they might not be able to do that with how bad Bradley Beal's contract is and how low they are on assets, but they might have to move off Kevin Durant to even be able to see that bright light. And unfortunately, that's the case that we're in. Now, I'm not advocating for a Kevin Durant trade because I do not want it to happen, but obviously, I think the signs are telling that it's going to be happening this off season. So with that being said, once again, what does it mean for KD? And ultimately, what does it mean for him next year? As Durant, the 37-year-old, like I said, is on a 1-year deal. So what is going to happen? He's obviously going to be looking for a trade, and what teams could be interested? Like I mentioned, and Evan Siri mentioned, those teams listed, the Nuggets, Rockets, Knicks, all have shown some interest in Kevin Durant over the last couple months, or could show interest in Kevin Durant over the next couple months if they do flame out in the playoffs. It's obviously going to be up to Kevin, as if he's going to be getting traded to one of these teams, he's most likely going to want an extension from one of these teams. And one of those teams that he's going to want an extension from is one of the teams he's going to want to play for. So you have to kind of figure out that little mold for Durant there. And then next, kind of going into it, what does it mean? Oh, I keep hitting the wrong ones, excuse me. What does it mean for the Phoenix Suns? And that one's not there. So I don't know what's happening, but what does it mean for the Phoenix Suns? What are the Phoenix Suns going to be dealing with if they go out with no Kevin Durant? Well, obviously, they're going to be sitting and looking at this situation where they obviously have no Kevin Durant, or off a $50 million contract, have no free agents, only have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Royce O'Neal, Ryan Dunn, and Oso Gudaro under contract and whatever they get for Kevin Durant, and have to make a decision. Do they want to go in and do they want to retool and build around Devin Booker, get another star, pair him alongside of him, or get other role players to put around Devin Booker? Or are they going to hit the fresh reset? Are they going to trade Devin Booker, trade Bradley Beal, trade everybody and go all young and get all their assets back to be at the bottom? That question ultimately remains to be unseen. We'll have to wait and see. With all direction and with everything that has been told, it obviously looks like the Suns are going to be heading into a retool because the Suns are not looking to trade Devin Booker. Devin Booker does not want to leave the Phoenix Suns. And with that all being said, the Suns are going to try to put a team around Devin Booker that can have some success. Will the team be better than they were this year? I believe so. Will that team be a top 3 team in the West? Don't think so. But I do think we'll see the Suns having some star talent around Devin Booker if it's not an immediate effective star. Some obviously young players, or players of a specific role that can help out Devin Booker and what he isn't able to do on the court as a defender, or with his length and size that he very lacks at playing the guard position. And if that can be seen with this team development and potentially with a new front office and with a new head shape here in Phoenix, then we could see this direction of greener pastures coming through within the Matt Ishbia era. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, what you ultimately want to see with Kevin Durant, where you would like to see him go, what kind of package you would like to see the Suns get. Do you want to see a rebuild? Do you want to see a retool? What do you ultimately think about this Phoenix Suns roster? As clearly has been a disastrous season this year, and there's a lot of speculation, a lot of talking, a lot of discussion about this team, and I want to know your thoughts. So let me know down below in the comment section, like I said, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Go Phoenix Suns. Even though they're out of the playoffs, I'm still being supportive, and have a great rest of your day. I'm Bruce Veliz. Peace out.